So this story I'm about to tell you is hardly the only example, but it's a perfect example of utter irrational absurdity. And just as an aside, these are the same neighbors who heard me saying stuff out in the back patio, you know, in California when I was living with Donald and Hope, his mom, and called the cops. Cops showed up at our door. So ridiculous. You don't call the cops because you hear something in the patio next door, okay? If somebody's screaming or yelling or threatening to commit suicide, but if somebody's just talking, you don't know that they're not rehearsing. And motherfuckers called the cops. Called the cops. Donald didn't like cops any more than I did. So he was not happy when the cops came to his door. Which was good because he brushed aside the fact that I was out on the back patio, see. He didn't know I was creating videos, but I could have just been talking to myself. It doesn't matter, you don't call the cops unless you know something for sure. People are just so, oh. And that was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I won't, enough said, but that was 11 years ago, and I can only imagine now, okay? Unfucking. Anyhow, here's a good story. Of course, I set it up on YouTube years ago, but so what? I have way more viewers, fans nowadays. This is cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, organic on both counts, and water. That hopefully is okay. I've been told that our tap water is okay, but you never know. Everything's a lie now. Everything's a lie. And this is that peak bio boost that, by the way, has not yet worked the way it says it's supposed to work. Okay? I'll let you know if it does start working. We lived in townhomes, okay? I want to stress, paid over $1,000 a month rent, okay? I've said this repeatedly over and over and over again. If you want total quiet, okay, in your life, then you can't expect that if you have to rent an apartment, or in this case, townhomes that are this close to each other. They're attached, actually, okay? Attached, but you understand? It's not rational. Of course, it wasn't rational for stupid bitches in the shelter to think they're supposed to have total quiet just because they're taking a nap when it's not down, you know, it's not time to bed, it's not whatever. If you're taking a nap at 7, you can't expect there to be total quiet when downtime, quiet time doesn't start till 10, for example. It's insane, it's irrational, it's ridiculous, and yet there were bitches who did that too. They're in a shelter and thinking they're in a 5-star hotel. I mean, anyhow, our neighbors, okay? Same neighbors where I created a video and I'm like, I didn't put in it's a Saturday night, but it was. I have to be real quiet because we have neighbors and they'll complain. And it was a weekend night I was doing it, okay? I thought I actually said that. I thought I just said it's a Saturday night or Friday night or whatever. They'll complain. Found out, and I just want to stress too, that Hope, Donald's mom, acquiesced. Sure, because it doesn't affect her. Plus, it's just not even rational. It's not like you can't do it. It just pisses me off when people just think they can. So many people do things I just would never think of doing, never do, never, complained because the pipes made noise when I was taking a shower or a bath or whatever it was, doesn't matter, after 10 o'clock at night. Okay? Complained that it made noise. So Donald's mom informed me we can't take any showers or baths or anything. I think she said like after 9:30 or some ridiculous shit. Of course, Donald thought it was ridiculous too. His mom was just being ridiculous. And it's important to point this out, because that is how but her and her son were both like that, okay? They didn't like any attention drawn to themselves. They couldn't stand it if we were walking through the townhomes and I was a little, again, it's not late at night, it was after 6. Okay? They just couldn't stand it, period. Right? Hope couldn't even stand it. She's like, oh, you eat like you're having sex or something. She couldn't even stand it if I'm in my own home and have sour cream on my face or something, Again, I'm in my own home. I'm not out in a restaurant. And just as an aside, it was a tribute to her because she made it was homemade. It was her homemade, Mexican foods. I loved it. Loved that, avocado and cheese and chicken and all of that, and pepper and sour cream and guacamole and all of that, and chips. But she even got uptight about that. Okay? That tells me she was really uptight, right? She tried to pretend she wasn't. She was. She was. Anyone who's gonna be like, God, Larry, you eat like you're having sex or something, like. That's an uptight person. And again, I was in my own home. No, I was more cognizant of not doing something like that when I was out. Although if I was drinking, I was probably less cognizant of it. But definitely when I was with her. Donald was so uptight too. I cannot believe I wound up with him. Again, he knew everything about me. He knew that I wasn't normal. He knew that I wasn't gonna be prim and proper and all of that, and silent and soft-spoken. He knew all of that. He knew it. Why did he just stay the fuck away from me? Why did he even have to make me like him? I don't know. But I already get hints of it when I do personal ads. I told you. This guy who at least passed my initial, which most men don't even pass that would contact me. What do you mean sneakers for in your pictures? I like my women. I like see women in heels. And then I retorted, so what? I don't like when women swear. your bed, you shouldn't have a picture with your bed, like, unmade. It gives men wrong ideas. It looks like you just had sex or something. Etc., etc., etc. And this is a total stranger. Okay? But we know damn well that he would be like that in real life. And then look how that elder, that, you know, that older gentleman, that older guy, you know, dated him briefly in California. Look how he behaved. Look how he behaved. And he liked to drink and smoke pot and go down on me in his car. So, you know, the fact that he sucked at it doesn't change the fact that he, you know, so you would think he would be less uptight, but he still turned out to be, like, not uptight, but just jerk. But you get what I'm saying? There's so many men like that. So many. And you can say what the woman, like that woman is, but they're not all like that. Yeah. But it reaches a point where it's not worth it to try to weed through them, see? See? And you don't even know up front, because I didn't know up front. I thought Donald was my fucking mate, my soulmate, my like I said, there wasn't a doubt in my fucking mind. Think back on that, and think back of all those years of my life that I lost with that motherfucker. Okay? I wouldn't have fathomed it that he would wind up treating me the way he did. Okay? So obviously I'm not good at, you know, especially like I said, if you're real good at deceiving, and so many people of both sexes are just, they're masters at it.